Robin's going to just listen in because she's just onboarding and getting up to date with everything. Let me share. I gave you guys the Figma link that we worked on yesterday, and we can work on today. Just as a general recap of yesterday, it was really good to get to know everybody. We definitely aligned on one of the things that we can do in this phase is provide better handoff documents if there's a next phase, because everyone's really struggling to find those handoff documents and where this project has been left off. So that's a question that I have for you, Colin. Is that something that you're struggling with because you were on this project before?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having the documents, but I think that I can operate with what I have.
Okay. Yeah, because for you, it's like continuous work, right? Like where you're just picking up where you left off.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you know where to find like the official like product map, product roadmap?
On Notion.
Yeah, but we still, I mean, I'll share with the one that we have, which is here. I don't know. What about you, Martin? Were you able to find it?
I just have the same materials that you've been presenting, and it's not very clear to me other than, so I read through the roadmap and it seems like the goal was to make an MVP, but all that was done was kind of authentication, but that isn't a lot just because in the end they decided to use Auth0, which is kind of just all set already, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we just start with an icebreaker. What I had everybody do was just write their name here, and you put your name and you put a sticker. You can use one of my stickers or you can find a sticker. So I'll do a new one for today. It's kind of silly, but it's good to do this to get to know one another. Okay, this one's good. Oops. All right, so I'm Constance, and I chose a little guy with the with the I guess the geometric shapes on top of his head, because yesterday I was feeling like a whirlwind because I'm just trying to get all this together, and as things also in other aspects of my life. So, but today I feel like things are coming together. I'm like able to consolidate meeting times. So things are going a little more aligned than yesterday. So what about you, Martin?
Yeah, so my name is Martin. I chose the palette just because I have a kind of passion project called Palette. It's a travel app. So yeah, I've been working on that. So it's always on like the top of my mind. So
Awesome. Do you design as well?
no, so we chose Palette just because it's like the way the platform works is like people kind of save inspirations and create travel itineraries from their inspirations. So you're kind of painting your own itinerary kind of thing.
Ah, cool. I like that. Awesome. And Colin?
Well, I chose the Spiral because it's a well-known development model for software, and it's good for exploratory coding, such as the kind that we're doing here.
Awesome. So that resonated with you. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And I don't know, Robin, if you wanted to.
Sure,
share
I'm
with-
still having trouble with the Figma kickoff meeting, but I'm not sure what the different emojis are, but maybe I would use like exclamation point, like excited, excited to be working with everyone and just to, get everything rocking and rolling. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling today.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, good. So today, things that we're going to talk about are, we're going to decide meeting times, get an agreement on that. Some housekeeping issues, just kind of go through that and see if anyone's having issues. The goals and priorities of this project, and see if anyone has some client questions to send to Morgan. All right, so let's talk about meeting time. We're gonna have a weekly lead meeting, which also coincides with our demo meeting. So every week we'll meet once a week, and then the second meeting, or the week 2, 4, 6, and 8 will be the demo meeting. So I ask everyone to try to be flexible because we're all in different time zones. Some people work during the day, so we're trying to get around that as best as possible. And then I'm asking that it be the same time for the whole 8-week period, because if we change it around or try to find like the same, or let us meet every week, then or every 2 weeks, it's going to be chaotic. And that way we're just consistent with the times of our meetings. And I was going to see if we could set it today. Yesterday, I asked people to use the stamp to see if these time zones work for them. So we have 3 meetings during the week. We have the sprint planning meeting, which is all hands, like everyone can be there, leads and apprentices. And I proposed, these are times that worked in the last phase. So I just kind of threw it out there and said, maybe this will work for people. So it would be Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Central time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, and 6 p.m. CET, which is, I guess, European time, which is actually Enrique. Enrique is the person who is in Europe, and he's on research. So can you stamp that if you can meet at that time, or just a thumbs up or a thumbs down? The stamp is like here, this little guy, and you open it up and you just like grab the one that you like and you just take it up there like that. You can use other ones, like if you want to go thumbs down, you go like that.
So for
And then-
strategy, sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
But for strategy, we've set our kind of weekly meetings at this time, but I'll put a yes for now since that time is available for the leads. And then we could see if strategy could change up the meeting on our end with the apprentice.
I really appreciate it. That same thing happened. I noticed that actually because I looked in the afterwards, but the writing team, that same thing happened, and Abby on writing said, well, we'll just use this time for now while there's a roadmap. Everyone's kind of waiting for the roadmap from the sprints. So she said, we'll just meet with everybody on all hands, and then we'll just do another meeting if we need to. So I appreciate that flexibility. Okay, it looks like everybody can do that, which is great. Casey can't be there, but the design team works, they both work during the week, from 9 to 5, obviously. And so they can meet only after 6. So what they're gonna see if they can send maybe an apprentice to the sprint meetings, but I'm gonna get back to them on that.
Have we decided to do weekly sprints?
I think we were
The
talking.
norm?
We were talking about doing sprints like every 2 weeks, or did you want to do it every week?
Oh no, it says weekly on the
Oh.
sprint planning weekly. So I thought that's something that was discussed. but I'm happy to do bi-weekly or twice, every 2 weeks.
I think it's just like, maybe we can plan the sprints like in 2 weeks, but maybe we can refine the backlog together. I'm not sure. I'm going off of what was done last project. So,
Okay,
if we see that it's too much and we don't need to meet every week, it just might be good just to get together and share ideas, you know?
okay,
And share where we're at.
Yeah.
We'll try, Martin. If something else does, like, if that doesn't work, we can try something else, another way.
yeah,
Yeah, but you're right. It's like 2 week sprint, so we might have like that, an extra week where we're like not needing to work on the sprint, but working on something. We're just like discussing how it's going.
yeah. And then I guess, was there any opinions or thoughts about having the retro on the same day as a sprint planning? Just because when one ends, you do the retro and then you do the planning kind of thing.
So what I was looking at is that the retro and the demo be on Friday. So that's bi-weekly. If you see here, like, Friday morning is, the retro, and then the demo is Friday afternoon.
Okay.
So let's think about how that works. Let's say that next week would be like the first week, because this week doesn't count. Week 1, week 2, we would be like a week and a half into so we would be finishing on Friday, that sprint, right? And so Friday is a good day to do the retro and do the demo later, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm just used to
Yeah.
having like a sprint planning on the same day as a retro, just because when that sprint ends, you do the retro and then you do the planning on the same day. So it's like in one meeting kind of thing instead of
Okay,
different meetings.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense.
okay, well, then how would you propose to do it? Like
So
what
like,
day?
so the retro and planning is one meeting.
Okay,
So you do both at the same time, just because every sprint starts new. So you want to do the retro and then you do the planning to kind of learn from it and like adapt from that.
writing
And then it
down.
just cuts down the amount of meetings that we have to have or want to have as a whole team, just because a lot of work would be done async as well.
Okay.
But we could still have those demo meetings separate. I just think the retro and the planning should be kind of together.
Okay, so would you, since you're leading that, and I can put together, we'll be working together, Martin.
Yeah.
Robin, you, and Maria and I will all be working together on that. So, and actually, if that strategy meeting, Maria had sent some availability. We were thinking about meeting every Monday it would be 4 o'clock my time. So I had sent you the let us meet to see your availability for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it looks like that Monday afternoonish time is working for all of us. So
Yes.
that might be good to plan the sprints. And then would you choose I just don't know, like that. Did you want to do Tuesday for the retros?
So like, if we do keep the sprint planning on the Tuesday, that sprint planning will just be a sprint planning and retro.
Okay, so we can eliminate that Friday morning one.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Just because the retro for me is just like kind of like a remembering what you did that 2 week sprint and like how we can improve, what went well, what didn't go well. And then after you have that retro, you do the planning and then you take what you learned from that retro and apply it to the planning.
Okay, awesome. Yes, I've done a course on Agile and Scrum, but it's gonna be really great to see how it's actually done and in progress. So that sounds like a good plan. So I'll just eliminate that retro meeting. And should it be more than 1 hour then?
I think like retro shouldn't take that long. It's like a stand up, like people stand up and go, well,
This
what didn't go
worked.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go the priorities of the planning kind of thing. But you kind of have that like little intro of learning of like what went well, what didn't go well, that sort of thing. I think that's how I've understood it. Does anyone else have any comments or thoughts on that?
I don't know, Robin or Colin.
Yes.
I don't
Lauren,
know.
would it be something like kind of like a 15-minute kind of retro and then like 45-minute sprint planning, something kind of like that with the time?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
something
think
along
that-
those lines. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, so it just eliminates that extra meeting that we could use later on if we need it, but we don't have to really set it to do every week just because a full retro meeting I don't think is that helpful in a sense.
Perfect. Okay, so let's strike that out. That will be easier and that gives us all more time to work. Okay, and then the demo meeting would be Friday afternoons. And actually, I'm asking everyone to move it ahead 1 hour for 2 reasons. Design would be able to make it. I asked them if if we do it at 6 p.m. Eastern time, they'll be able to be there, the leads. And then also because Morgan is available after 2 p.m. So I don't know if it's at 2 p.m. It would be good probably for him if it were at 3 p.m. So I have to check on that if he's available on Fridays.
The other option now is like we have that 10 a.m. available that we could switch. So if that also helps everyone else.
It does help, but it excludes design, which I don't like, you know?
Okay.
Which Robin and I were talking and she suggested if people can't be there, like for example, Enrique, who's in Europe, wouldn't be able to be on those Friday afternoons because it's like 11 or 12 o'clock for him on a Friday night. So she thought of, well, maybe he can record something and send a video of what he's done when we go through the demo. So okay, well, I'll let you guys know how that finalizes. Which is great, Martin, you just cut down our meeting times to 2 hours instead of 30. Yay. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, I'm asking everyone to post their team meetings in the Kadet-Wallet Google Calendar. And the all hands kickoff meeting is tomorrow, March 1st at 10 a.m. Can't see it. There we go. I think you're like hovering over it, but 10 a.m.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. There you go. 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. EST, and 6 p.m. UTC. So if you can make that, it's just kind of a kickoff to get to know everybody, get apprentices like updated on what we're doing. We're doing some icebreakers, we're aligning team culture, and I've asked design if they can maybe show a prototype of what's been done. I don't know if they'll be able to do that. If they can't do that, I'm gonna try to dig out like part of I'm just gonna try to find either somewhere where I could get that prototype. I mean, I can get to the prototype, but I'm not confident to go through it and explain it as well as somebody who has been on the project before, you know, so I'll see what I can do. Anyway, so that's what tomorrow is about. I was gonna ask you, Martin, is there anything strategy wants to add to the all hands meeting tomorrow, the kickoff meeting?
I don't have anything that I've thought of yet. The purpose of the all hands meeting is just to kind of like meet with everyone, or was there a different agenda?
No, for this kickoff meeting, it's basically just like get to know, for it to explain and clarify any doubts.
Mhm.
Announce meeting times, yeah, just getting everybody onboarded and, yeah.
Mhm.
And then I was we had talked about with the other PM apprentices of kind of briefly going over what the project's about. So we thought maybe if we could just read out the goals, read out what the delivery expectations are, and then maybe getting a visual on like what's been done. That would be helpful maybe to people to orient them.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to housekeeping. Has everyone been able to set up the Kadet-Wallet Google account? Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Good. And the Zoom meetings, you can access that and set up your meetings and add it to the Google Calendar. And oh, this is done actually. We got the Kadet-Wallet and the Tech Fleet wallet to sync, so that way it shows up on the general Tech Fleet calendar. And people who want to shadow can watch our meetings. Notion file, Martin, you had asked me and I talked to asked the other leads. But I think everyone's accessing it through the web access.
Yeah,
And
I got an invite yesterday from Stephanie, so I'm like in it so that I'm able to invite people. So
okay, cool.
that's all fixed.
Also, good, okay. And then, just the stand-ups, I'm encouraging all the teams to do what we had decided on the first meeting was the liaison and the async, just to keep like everybody informed on what each team is doing. So the liaison would be the person going into the other meetings and, sitting in the meetings, writing a summary and then putting it in their team's chat, so that way they know what they've done. And then the async writes a stand-up in the general chat about what their team is doing. Okay, so I don't know if that's clear. And then this is a good role for an apprentice to do. So if you can delegate that, to send, if you need to send them to meetings to see what other people are doing, or have them do stand-ups in the general chat, that's a good job for them. Okay.
I had a question about kind of similar to this. Do we have a sprint board for the whole team, or are they sprint boards just for individual teams?
Okay,
Like
that's
whole
a
project versus team.
yeah, that's a good question. The sprint board, Colin, do you know?
No, I don't know if we have a sprint board.
Okay, so that's a question for Morgan or for, yeah,
I think it's more of like, do we as a project want to have a project sprint board on the homepage so that we could all do that during the planning, and then each like
Team
ticket or
has-
task can be like labeled for each team, and then as it moves, then we'll know who's where, like what's in progress, what's not, what's blocked, and that sort of thing.
when I work in project management, I personally really like seeing all of the whole team, because
Okay.
I get to see what's blocked, like you said, like what's being moved along, and we can just, yeah, we can label it with colors. I don't know what tool do you use for this?
So on Notion, you could create sprint boards. So we could just
Awesome.
create one on the homepage.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I would be I would want to have one like that. I could add that into like a product task, or we could work on it together. I don't know.
Yeah. totally. I would be happy to help you. I'm sure Robin would too. So we can talk about that on Monday. And kind of divvy up the work and see who does what.
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. All right. So yes. Let's move on. So then we went into client questions. Again, we kind of looked at the project goals, and I don't know if anyone needs to read over that. Like, these are kind of the project goals summarized. So the development of a website, the development of a web extension, to keep establishing the brand and the content strategy. Evaluative and exploratory research, iterating on the designs for Kadet, create a Kadet UI kit, component library for future use, and an MMP features for the product. I have a question here. Did we get out the MVP in phase 4?
Yeah, but it still hasn't been uploaded to the Google Chrome extension webpage. So we'll have to do that. That's one of the things I want to do.
So it needs to be uploaded to Google Chrome extension. Right, understand
To the
correctly?
marketplace, yeah.
Marketplace, okay. So it's ready.
Yeah, the MVP is working on testnet.
Do we have a domain that it's already what's it called? Not launched, that word. But is it on a domain name or is it still in test?
It's still in test. I'll have to double check on that.
Well, good, that can be one of our user stories, right? Okay, so when we're thinking about questions, and some people were able to write them, we can think about what's been done, what needs to be done, what are our goals and what are our priorities. So yesterday I gave people some time to just write like questions that they have for Morgan. So if you have any questions, I can give you a couple of minutes and you can fill out in your team the boxes, anything that you have for the client, any questions. What do you think? Should we do that now?
Sure. I just I don't really have a question. I'm just like, what is the goal of this phase? That's basically it.
Okay, well, this is like where the same thing happened yesterday. So I was real transparent with Morgan, and I told him today, I was like, everyone's kind of like struggling with like finding handoff documents and getting like understanding what the goals are. So I'm trying to pin him down so he can although he is a client, maybe he would be the person that can help us with this.
Okay. Because in my mind, I was like, we're building out an MVP, but just now it seems like from what Colin has said, we do have an MVP website and Chrome extension all built. So is this phase more like 0 to 1, 0 to 10 kind of thing? Like, what is the goal? I guess that's my question. What did I do?
When I met with Enrique this week, he showed me he has this as a user case study as a case study on his website. So, and I think he summarizes, this is actually quite pixelated. I'm sorry, because I just took a screenshot of it, but you can zoom in and read it, most of it. So this would be like a product roadmap of phase 4. And it's like an all teams product map. So if that's helpful to you of what's been done, we can look at this more in depth on Monday. See, week 10 says provide prototype handoff documents for phase 5 handoff. So if they've done this, that's somewhere. And it's the prototypes should be somewhere. I mean, they are. I've been able to like click through the prototypes. But I think people still aren't clear on what needs to be done for this project.
And then, does anyone know more of like that collaboration with K-Block? Like, what do we need to do with them, kind of thing?
Okay, so let's
Yeah, I can answer that question.
okay.
I recently had a meeting with Christina who I believe I don't recall her last name perfectly, but we talked about what needs to be done with K-Block and Kadet-Wallet. Right now, K-Block is just a static prototype, and they need to develop the indexing system. And once they've done that, we can integrate it into Kadet-Wallet in order to give a transaction history.
Okay. So, but we're kind of ahead of them, right? So it's like
Yeah, we're ahead of them.
there's no blockage from our end.
No, we're blocked on
Okay.
them. They're not blocked on
Okay.
us.
Okay.
So just to understand, Colin, I'm sorry for my ignorance, but K-Block has an indexing system that needs to be incorporated into Kadet. Is that right?
K-Block will eventually write its indexing system that we will incorporate into KDET. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Okay, so that's what we want to collaborate with them. So we're waiting for them on that. And how is that indexing system? And so will that be just completely handed off into code, or will we have to work with design and writing, and strategy? Will we have to collab all teams?
I think that is going to be their work.
So it's their work and they hand it over to you to put in code, right?
Yeah, they're going to give us the API calls, like the API addresses that we use to then integrate that into our own functionality.
Okay, good. And where does that appear in our design and our prototypes?
It's going to be used to provide a transaction history for an account and to view other accounts' histories. Because right now the transaction history only works with accounts that have been imported into our wallet and then used directly. Like, it loses all that information if you have to re-import it to another wallet instance.
Okay. Okay, great. That's helpful. Thank you, Colin. Okay, well, amazing. So you don't have any questions to write here? Oh, strategy, you did great. Awesome. Colin, I
That's
don't know.
not the second part wasn't a question. I just needed someone to write notes.
Oh, okay, perfect.
But I had that first question. What is the goal of this phase?
Right, okay,
Kind of thing. Yeah.
perfect.
Colin, are you able to send me the link for the Kadet-Wallet test for cell or link or whatever?
Well, right
You're using?
now, I have a GitHub repository
Okay.
with the code in it.
Okay.
All right, so maybe once you have that, you can send it over. Are you in, how do you share that with the other devs? Are you in a GitHub?
Yeah, just using GitHub. Here, I'll send it to you right now in the chat window.
Okay,
Do we also have like a Figma design file?
yes.
Yeah, that should be in the Notion from
Okay,
the last phase.
I'll look through that too.
Our current version does not faithfully implement it. We focused on getting the backend functionality working.
Well, that is MVP, so it's not supposed to
Yep.
look great.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'll look through this.
Perfect.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, and the Figma file, I think is also in the checklist. You'll be able to maybe find it there, the one that Stephanie put for us, made up for us, so you'll be able to find it faster. Okay, great. All right, well, I don't know if anybody else, if you want to, there is this question when I talked to Enrique about research. Maybe Colin, you can answer this since you were on the project before. Are there 2 users? Like I saw that there was like, and at some point there was like 2 entry points for new blockchain users and experienced blockchain users. And is that still valid or is it just new blockchain users now?
I'm not sure. I would check on the Figma document in the
Okay.
Notion.
Okay, is there a glossary of terms to help us learn about this project? There is a glossary. Yeah, that I've seen that before, the glossary of terms. Okay.
You're better informed than I am on this subject.
Yeah, no, I saw it somewhere, so I'll try to research those answers. And I'll tell them also to look at the Figma file for this idea of if there's 2 entry points or if it's just one now. Okay, guys, I think that we're at a good place, kind of to stop. And I have a couple things to do. So I don't know if anyone has anything else to contribute or any questions that I can pass on if I don't know the answer.
when is your meeting with Morgan?
I'm trying to get that meeting down.
Okay.
He's a hard to get a hold of.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's on Discord a lot though. So
I think he's
That's
trying
good
to
to know.
move. Yeah, he's trying to move stuff over to Discord. Okay. And yeah, he didn't, but when we do get when we get a meeting with him, I will let you guys know. So we can ask him questions or get some clarification. At first, I just need one meeting with him to do the demos. Not for week 2, 4, 6, and 8. So I'll let you guys know if he can do Friday afternoons.
perfect.
Okay, I'm sorry, sharing my screen. Okay, guys, well, thanks so much for coming. I'll see you tomorrow at the general all hands kickoff meeting, and Martin, I will see you on Monday for strategy and PM meeting. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you for setting everything up.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Bye, nice meeting everyone.
Bye.
Bye.